Welcome back, viewers. To begin with this human interest story in the south region of the country, precisely in Sagmelima, where some students of the government high school in Sagmelima were recently caught in deviant activities. The students aged between 15 and 20 left not only their parents and the school authorities in shock, but also the local population of Sagmelima. As Staff Lady Immaculate Fogwe completes the story.
Packs of preservatives, cigarettes, sachets of whiskey and dresses littered on the floor. These items belong to some students of Government High School Sagmelima in the south region of Cameroon. The students were caught having group sex in an uncompleted building by elements of the Sagmelima police station. The students decided to extend their school socials by having sex here. The police were alerted by some neighbors who noticed the students sneaking into the uncompleted building. The students have been intercepted for questioning by the Sagmelima Central Police Station. Administrative authorities, including the divisional officer Saiduna Ali, made a stop over here. He promised that the students will be punished accordingly, while urging parents to be vigilant and equally caution their kids to deviate from such immoral practices.
And now we talk health. Today has been observed as the World Day Against Diabetes, and it comes at a time most patients still die of that ailment despite the efforts put in by medical doctors. And this is because most diabetic cases are not diagnosed on time. Immaculate Fogwe once again tells us more in the following write-up.
These cases in Cameroon are rising at an alarming rate. According to health experts, approximately 615 people have been diagnosed with the disease. Doctors, however, say this number is underestimated, given that 4 out of 5 persons are ignorant of the fact that they are diabetic. The major symptoms are increased thirst, frequent urination, hunger, fatigue, and blood vision. In some cases, diabetes is one of the leading causes of renal lower limb amputation and blindness. These complications, if undetected and treated, can cause disability. The major risk factors are overweight, obesity. This is because of poor lifestyles. Lots of people drink a lot and don't care about their diet or even carry out physical exercise. Type 2 diabetes accounts for 90% of cases diagnosed in Cameroon. Faced with this high prevalence rate, doctors advise Cameroonians to adopt a healthy lifestyle. During this month of November, consecrated to the fight against diabetes, the Douala General Hospital organized a free screening campaign for diabetes, hypertension, and obesity. It should be noted that diabetes triggers cardiovascular disease, which is the leading cause of death in diabetic patients.
And now we talk politics. We told you in the headlines that members of 2 opposition parties in Cameroon who were arrested over the weekend have finally been released. They were the Secretary General of the Popular Action Party and their members, and also the President of the MPSC political party. They were arrested over the weekend and they were finally released yesterday. And the arrest came few weeks or days after the 2 parties decided to form a coalition. As staffman for me, Armstrong Sander completes the story.
Coming in prelude to the 2025 electoral year, the Popular Action Party, the PAP, and the Patriotic Movement for the Salvation of Cameroon, the PMSC political parties, say their alliance is a foundation for the desired change in Cameroon.
We have been doing a lot together, and today we decided to make it open to the media that we are working in the alliance. And I want to let Cameroonians know that the alliance that we have sealed today is going to open the way for other people to join us, so that together we can work and bring the expected change that many Cameroonians have been vying for.
Conscious of the tough mechanism of the ruling CPDM party and the repeated failure of the opposition in 40 years, President Abubakar Siddiqui of the PMSC party says they have adopted a change in approach.
Nous faisons face à une dictature de 40 ans qui s'appuie sur l'organisation
He says Cameroon for 40 years has been under a kind of dictatorship where state apparatus are used by the regime to handicap the opposition.
Un politicien qui vous dira qu'il va faire cavalier seul jusqu'à la victoire est un usurpateur.
Their hope is to expand the alliance to other opposition political parties for a stronger opposition bloc come 2025 for the presidential, senatorial, parliamentary, regional and municipal elections.
Les Camerounais peuvent nous faire confiance.
The PAP-MPLC official alliance in Douala also saw the installation of the PAP party officials for the Littoral Regional Congress.
Yes, I've been called to take the mandate to manage Littoral, and I just want to bless God because we have the right people around to be able to help pilot the right things of the country. And it's a mandate that automatically has to bring joy not just to me, but to the nation as a whole.
Cameroon counts over 300 legalized political parties opposing the ruling CPDM for over 40 years. While some observers see that as a plus to the country's democracy, others see it as a weapon used by the ruling party to continuously disperse and dominate the opposition.
And now we take you to the central region of the country where construction works are said to have been abandoned on the Kolandom Highway. The state of the road has been deplorable since 5 years ago when the project was reportedly suspended. Let's now have more with Mala Glory.
This road linking Kolandom to Ako-Okas in the Villa subdivision gradually degrading is a pending project launched 5 years ago. The bad road, unfortunately, has been abandoned by the company holding the construction project. The angry locals plying the road and employees working on the stretch are lamenting over the situation as this is affecting their daily activity. When they started works here, all was fine until when they finally abandoned everything, such that even employees are suffering due to unpaid salaries. According to the natives, the project has been financed and money handed to the company, but yet nothing has been done. The wish of the population is for the work to be completed. We saw heavy machines, but yet we don't know if they are competent to do the job. The population continue to suffer on the bad road as they call on the company and the local authorities to complete the pending project.
And now we talk culture in promotion of the Bassa cultural heritage and the development of Kongmondo, in particular sons and daughters of Kongmondo. We'll be organizing a mini festival from the 16th to the 18th of December to promote their culture and more. Let's now have more about what will be happening in that mini cultural festival with our staff lady Lucille Yengu.
Experts say monitoring the originality of cultural and traditional values is one of the major challenges faced by African societies in a fast-growing digital world. The large digital space has paved a way for globalization and has left minority cultures threatened by the large and more developed ones. It is on the heels of this that Mbenem Pombati is organizing the Komondo Mini Festival.
Yeah, we have always lived together, and now that it has become an issue, we have to show that we were already living together. There was no problem here between different communities, even between Anglophone and Francophone, or between Bamileke and Bassa, between Ewondo and Bassa, between Nyokon and Bassa, Bafia or Yambeta, and so on. No, we were living together very harmoniously. So this is a way to show it.
Their objectives as sons and daughters of Komondo is to promote the Bassa cultural heritage and development of their village, Komondo in particular. The mini festival will hold from the 16th to the 18th of December 2022
Within 3 days, the sons and daughters of Commando will be discovering the culture and richness of the Bassa people.
See cultural activities which are history, talking about history, talking about music, talking about other topics, sport with ladies, wrestling, and of course you will never live if you don't eat. So we are going to show what we can cook as good food and showing it to the rest of our guests.
Created in 1919, Commando today has a population of 25,000 people on an estimated surface area of 45 hectares, with several communities including the indigenous Bassa, Batim, Po, who are the most populated, but also the Bafia, Yambassa, Banen, Yonkon, Bamileke, Beti, Douala, and Bamun. All these communities have always lived together.
And now, on a sad note, we told you on the headlines that one of Africa's most famous researchers, teachers, historian, and also a Pan-Africanist, Omotunde Kalala, is no more. He reportedly passed on over the weekend in Guadeloupe after a heart attack or a malaise, and he is known to have greatly contributed in promoting African beliefs. As staffman Innocent Arsenal gives us a brief biography of that great African figure.
En regardant l'histoire, j'ai découvert que la plus grande découverte de nos ancêtres.
Nusere Kalala Omotunde was a Guadeloupean historian, lecturer, and specialist in the sciences of mathematics and classical African humanities. He was a graduate of the Paris School of Advertising. He rejected his French first name, Jean-Philippe, to better reconnect with his African roots and adopted the first names of Nusere Kalala. Nusere of Egyptian origin, evoking the cradle of knowledge, and Kalala relating to the traditional problem-solving organ of the Congo. Trained in historiographical analysis by the Ethiopian school, he is the author of numerous works demystifying the dishonorable, erroneous, and falsifying speeches of certain Westerners on the African past.
Avons-nous la capacité, en interrogeant la tradition africaine, d'élever notre niveau de réflexion?
He also took part in a UNESCO mission on these subjects. Overflowing with passion and energy for this noble cause, he was the co-founder of the africanmad.com website and was the head of the Anija Association in Guadeloupe. He also participated in the democratization and popularization of African classical humanities.
Il y a une tradition africaine qui est la seule capable d'expliquer la pensée de la totalité des pensées émanant des civilisations aujourd'hui.
His work and his books helped to overcome the reductive gaze exclusively focused on slavery and colonization when talking about the black world, and to restore the true scientific, philosophical, and spiritual contributions of Africa and Afro-descendants to modern civilization.
Dans son discours sur la négritude,
May he so rest in peace. And now we talk sports. The absence of Cameroon's defender Michel Gandui on the list of coach Rigobert Song is still making rounds of debate across Cameroon. It is reported that his absence is due to indiscipline in the Lions' Den. A sports analyst Claubert Yompang spoke to Equinoxe television, and he says justified cannot be the reason behind the exclusion of Michael Gandui from the Lions' Den or from the list of coach Rigobert Song. Let's now have more with Smart Dikan Gabriel.
Michael Gandui is not part of Team Cameroon to Qatar 2022 World Cup because he fought with his teammate Frank Zamboangisa. This information that has been on social media platforms in the past few days isn't true. According to a football expert, Claubert Yompang, it was a cooked-up story to sideline Michael Gandui.
I was also surprised, like you, to hear that there was a fight between Mr. Zamboangisa and Michael Gandui. It's now something like 20 years that I'm covering our national team, and I have some contacts in the staff on the Indomitable Lions but I can confirm you today that there was no fight between Mr. Ngadengadji and Mr. Frank Zamboangisa. The fact people were talking about yesterday was a situation of play between Burundi, where a Burundian defender tackled Mr. Zamboangisa. This Zamboangisa was very angry and wanted to react against the Burundi defender, and Captain Abubakar and Michael Ngajundeje come and calm Zamboangisa and tell him that it's not good for him to react because he can take a yellow or red card.
The non-selection of the defense maestro of Club Brugge in Belgium still remains a major talking point on several television stations in the country. Former national team trainer Jean-Paul Akono, reacting to this subject on Equinoxe program, pleaded with the president of FECAFOOT, Samuel Eto'o, to do everything possible for Michael Ngandou to be part of the Qatar adventure. At the defensive level, the non-selection of Ngandou, truly, it's going to be a very big problem, even if we like it or not. I think that President Samuel Eto'o should use his position to bring Michael Ngandou. It's possible for him to come. It just takes for him to replace one other player on the list. It's going to be something good for Ngandou to join the team. Claiming that a fight with his teammate cost him his place to the FIFA World Cup, many had already painted Michael Ngandou black. The sports specialists say even if there was a fight between the two players, it couldn't justify the non-selection of one of them.
Looking the football history, I can tell you that there were many situations where two players or a player and a trainer were not in good mood, even fight, but it was not a reason to say that no, the player will not belong to the team. There are times where they say, okay, they will give you a bill to pay, but saying that a fight between two players, such important player of the team, can be a reason to say Ngandou could not go to the World Cup, I don't believe. Even the president of FECAFOOT now, Samuel Eto'o, 2009 with Guardiola at Barcelona, they were even not talking, but they won the league, the cup, and the Champions League.
Many petitions had been published online for Michael Ngandou to be called back to the Lions Den, because for many Cameroonians, the defensive maestro merits his place in the team that will be participating in the World Soccer Jamboree.
And viewers, that was what we put together for you on the news this evening on Equinoxe Television. Thank you so much for always being there. Don't go away, our programs continue on Equinoxe Television. Bye-bye for now.